beloved. I thank you so much for your time, and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those who are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings. For $50 per month, you get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career, and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also now offer one-on-one sessions / life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly. You can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon if you'd rather join my Patreon instead. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google. Search it and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out, why are we spiritually led here? What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title? And why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us tap in and talk to God, okay? So I'm channeling right now, and I keep seeing a lot of mirrors, and I keep hearing clairaudiently mirror magic, mirror magic, mirror magic. And I see mirrors, and also I'm seeing the moon, right? So moon mirror magic. Moon mirror magic, right? So this is a ritual that I'm channeling here, rituals, because I'm seeing mirror magic practiced under many moon phases, right? That's what I'm channeling. Let's tap in. We have the 8 of Wands reversed. So there's definitely someone who's experiencing some form of a spiritual whiplash, spiritual backfire, due to the energies that they've played with on Earth, right? So I do see that this is someone who was harnessing dark energies using the moon, and they were practicing mirror magic, right? And that is that spiritual whiplash, that spiritual backfire of what they were doing. It's returning to them. Whatever they were playing with, whatever they were participating in spiritually, it's making its way back to their vessel, their body, right? We have the King of Wands. So this is definitely a person who was absent-minded with a lot of their behaviors in life. They don't think twice about anything, they just do it. They don't reevaluate the circumstance and the situation and add it up to, oh, this, if I do this, it's gonna go like this, or this, if I do this, it's gonna go like this, and understand and process what they're doing and then make the decision to do it. They just do it absent-mindedly, and every time, because that's how they move and that's who they are and that's how they approach life, things never go their way, right? Like, this person doesn't think. They literally don't think. We have the 3 of Wands reversed. So for a long time, I do see this person was very absent-minded about the mirror moon magic rituals, all right? The mirror moon magic rituals. So keyword, the moon, okay? Luna, okay? So this person, they were very absent-minded when they were tapping into this. To them, it was just fun to play with energy and to speak things into the mirror, or practice certain things under the moon. Like, they were absent-minded in the way they processed what they were doing. They weren't really present and conscious of their decisions and choices. And because of that, they did a lot of things that are ruining their life at this time, because they didn't process what they were doing when they were doing it. Here we have the Queen of Swords reversed. It's almost like this person didn't even try and reevaluate their decisions and choices. They just kept doing it. Like, they continuously just kept doing it. They didn't think straight about it, didn't understand anything about it. They just were fascinated by it, and that fascination bloomed into obsession, and they just became so attached to playing with energies the way they were. And in specific, these moon magic ritual, moon mirror magic rituals. So the mirror, right? That's where we see ourselves, right? Our reflection. So I'm being drawn to the folklore tale of Snow White. That folklore tale of Snow White where she had no idea who she was, right? But there was that evil queen who wanted to seize her throne and felt threatened towards Snow White, as if Snow White was doing something to her outside of just being herself, being Snow White. But then this evil queen felt threatened by Snow White's beauty. It's like her beauty, it was something this queen, who had been on this throne of being the fairest of them all, mirror, mirror on the wall, right? So coming back to the generalization of this message here, we have the Ten of Swords reversed. You're dealing with someone who was obsessed with your beauty for years. Like, this person would stalk you publicly and take pictures of you and go back home and just reflect on the pictures. That's what they were choosing to reflect on, not the actions of stalking another person and how absurd that is. See how I say, absent-minded, unconscious behavior, it channels itself in ways like this. It's like when you're supposed to be reevaluating your decisions and choices for your own betterment and your own future, you don't, but you value the wrong things. Hence, you are only conscious and present in your mind with those wrong things that have nothing to do with what you should be fixing in your life, right? So this is definitely someone who, look at that. The Magician reversed, the Moon reversed. This is someone who was obsessed with your beauty and wanted you to look ugly, okay? They wanted you to be an ugly woman, never wanted you to look in the mirror and feel beautiful, never wanted you to go out. They wanted you to always stay in the house, don't know who you are, don't understand who you are, don't be around anyone, just be in your own space, wherever, somewhere, and always feeling ugly, but it not being your true reality, because you fall from that. It's just, it would have been the rituals, right? It would have been the mirror moon magic, right? So this person, in the beginning when they were doing all of this, it came off a particular way. It came off like, this is not really something that will affect their future in a deep manner or anything like that. They were like, doing it, not thinking of the consequences or how it will come back to them. They didn't think twice about it. Like I said, someone here was just doing things. They were doing these things because what was on their mind, it was based on this obsession, right, of your beauty. Back to that analogy, that reference point, that case study, that example about Snow White. She was very much in her element doing her, and even below in stature, in caliber, in image and reputation, she was below the queen, right? But the queen in her own kingdom still felt threatened by someone who just, it's like, doesn't even care what she got going on, who she is, who she thinks she is, or whatever, right? Let's tap in further to this energy. So you're being urged at this time to, you know, watch the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, right? And it's going to show you the desperation when you see how this evil queen was literally targeting Snow White and actually sent a huntsman, right, to kill her, to take her life. And he himself could not do it and let her go because he could see the purity of who she was in her own individual identity. And he didn't even understand why this evil queen was targeting her to begin with. But turns out because the evil queen would look in the mirror every day, and this mirror would reassure her of her own power. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all, right? And then one time this mirror said, you are not the first of them all, it's Snow White. So the problem here was that this evil queen wanted to be the most beautiful woman in the village, the community, you know, that she was in. She didn't want to feel like she has to compete or it's like it was a ritual for her to look at this mirror every day and speak to it, and it speaking back, and reassuring her of her beauty. And her beauty is symbolic to her throne, her crown, right, as well. We have the Six of Pentacles to the Page of Pentacles. So this woman was obsessed with your beauty for the longest time, for years. And she became so obsessed, she started stalking you on the down low, hoping that you never see her, never think of her, never know her, but always be affected by her because she was doing what she was doing to you behind the scenes, in her world, in her life, in her reality, right? She was hoping that, you know, you never figure out what's happening with you. You always just feel ugly. You never see your beauty. Imagine never being able to even look at yourself in the mirror because you feel that ugly every time you do so. That was the whole point of what she was doing. The spells that she was playing with were to ensure that you feel so ugly within who you are, as who you are, that you never even want to look at yourself, and you never love yourself, and you never ever, you know, show up in your power. You just always live life with your head down, thinking that you're just this ugly looking person that the world hates. So this is the very same person who's now receiving the spiritual whiplash, the spiritual backfire for their sins, because they're literally living in their own sins. They're watching what they sent your way return to them. Sis can't look in the mirror no more. This woman can't look in the mirror no more. She's very much in trouble spiritually. Because the mirror represents the reflection. The mirror represents who you see yourself to be. It's not just about you look pretty this day because you have this on, and you know you have a little bit of insecurity with your shoulder or your thighs or whatever. It's not about that. It's more like, look at it for what it is in the spiritual based meaning of the mirror. The mirror is you. You're looking at yourself. Now, there's people that can't look in the mirror for their own personal reasons, or they can't look in the mirror for long, or they don't like mirrors. They never look at mirrors. There are people that live like that. And then there are people that love to look at themselves in the mirror. They love to, I know I do. I'm like that. every chance I get, when I see a mirror, I be staring at myself. I love me. I just be like, you know, like there's people like that in life, and it's just who they are, right? So what I'm seeing here is like this woman had a problem with the fact that your beauty seemed to be outer-worldly. You know, you had your own individuality, like you stood in your own vibration, your own wavelength, your own frequency, and it was intimidating and threatening to her because she felt below you. Okay, yeah, justice. She felt below you. She felt like everyone is noticing you, everyone pays attention to you, everyone cares about you, you shine, you this, you this. Like this woman was stalking you to the extent that she was studying the way you talk, the way you walk, what you do, you know, when you out, and how you do life. Like she was obsessed, and she would, if she could, you know, she would, this be the woman in the street. You think it's just a random stranger, they carrying their phone like this, and they walking this way, you walking that way. This is you, this is them, you know, like this. And then they have their phone like this while they passing you. You going that way, they going this way. And because now there's that, you know, this woman be the one that carries their phone like this to capture you on video. And then when she has that footage, she goes back home and literally just stays in a trance, almost like when you're watching your favorite show and you just stuck on it, like you have your popcorn and everything, you just in it, and you just like, yeah, that's how she be. Like just that level of obsession. This woman would study your eyes, zoom into your eyes, then Google eye surgery. Can you alter your eyes so that they look a certain way? The lips, the nose, the jawline, the body, the style. Like someone, sis is obsessed. Like girl. Yeah, and with the Lovers reversed, she wanted to do something about your beauty because she felt like she could not exist without destroying your beauty, because it made her feel that beneath. Like you make her feel that belittled within herself. That she felt like she can't love herself, she can't do her because you are existing, you're breathing. People don't be right. That's what I'm saying. We be walking around thinking that so-and-so is the way that they are, or not even thinking about so-and-so just doing us. You don't know that you going outside, your mirror, right? Your mirror, as you exist. A lot of people are looking into your mirror and they see things, and whether they like what they see or not, it's their own mirror looking at your mirror. And sometimes there are people who their mirror, as they're being looked at from another person's perspective, that person can fall into that person's mirror. Like imagine, you know, a mirror opening up in the form of a portal, and it just takes them, right? When they put they hand on the mirror, it just opens up like a portal, and it just takes them. That's how it is when we coexist as humankind, because we're not all of the same vibration, frequency, or wavelength. There's some very high vibrational people out here, very high frequency, high wavelength, and their mirror, their cosmic mirror, their cosmology of identity is very strong, and it can take anyone. And if your mind is not strong enough for someone's mirror, it can take you. That's why people can be obsessed with other people, because you're obsessed with their mirror and who you see them to be, because you're looking at their mirror, but you have a mirror of your own. But as you're looking at their mirror, you start to not want your mirror because you want theirs. You want them. You want their identity. You know, this person here, they want your. It's like, this is crazy to me because I'm seeing something crazy here. It's like, how are you going to be studying someone down to the way that they walk? Like, or they walk a certain way, they conduct themselves a certain way, and you start to be in your head about it, and you start to do it as well when you're alone, seeing how it would look. This is this person, that's what they do. let's say you wear a pair of glasses or a scarf or a certain dress or hairstyle or jersey or pants or blouse or t-shirt, like sis will go buy it, wear it alone just to see how it will look on her and look at herself in the mirror, right? And it continued on. It was a pattern for years until she felt like, and even with that being the case, right, she developed neurological defects with her obsession. It tempered with her neurological order, her brain chemical activity. It just altered in a very, like she snapped. You understand? Like, it's like the woman that you are in comparison to her, she can't take that. So this mirror moon magic ritual that she was doing every single moon phase, this woman, she would do it according to your star sign, her star sign. She was doing her best to find out everything she can about you so that she knows how to go about this and with the right information that has to do with you. She was concerned about doing this right. She was not concerned about the fact that, oh my God, what is wrong with my self-worth and self-esteem, self-confidence, that I want to take away another woman's beauty because I don't feel like I can exist in this world because of her beauty. You know, I can't be in my body because I want to be in her body type of energy. And it escalated. Like, she just kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And as she kept on doing it, she was not alone. She had a sorcerer by her side helping her, right? And with the Six of Cups, the sorcerer has done this before to many other women. And it was bad. You know, the sorcerer has victims where this woman has a blemish, a dark patch, hyperpigmentation, darkened lips all of a sudden, swollen eye, you know, like things that just happen like to someone's face, and they just wake up and that's just who they are. And it's not that that's who they are, it's because something is being done to them, the magician. So this woman wanted this same fate for you. They wanted to see you suffer the same fate. This woman was planning, like sitting at home and thinking of how, you know, not when these spells hit you based on these rituals that she did under the moon phases of this mirror magic she was participating in and dibbling and dabbling and actually conjuring up. Like, she was imagining how you would be as an ugly woman, right? Like the same pictures she would take of you that she would take when she was stalking you on the low in secret behind the scenes, like in the background, pretending she's just a random stranger walking around, but it's really an obsessed witch. She would then, you know, take those pictures and videos and reflect on them, cry herself to sleep every night because she doesn't have your lips or your eyes or your nose or your body or your complexion or your style or your charisma, your energy, your aura. Like, someone is like, sis, you obsessed. Like, yeah, the Seven of Pentacles. And it just got worse. Like, I keep seeing it just getting worse. This obsession just kept escalating until it became something else. Something that caused the neurological defects in her brain, right? The brain chemical imbalance within the activity of the brain. Like, something snapped in this woman. Like, someone officially just snapped. Imagine wanting to be someone that much. It just says a lot about how powerful the mirror you walk in is. Because The mirror is the perception that others have of you. The mirror is the perception that anyone has of you. There's a mirror that someone can fall in love with and then be like, I want to see this mirror all my life, and I want to marry this person. I want to be their friend. I want to be in their energy. Someone can be obsessed with someone's mirror. Someone can be in love with someone's mirror. Someone can hate someone's mirror. Someone, the presence at which you are of, it can be something that is interpreted in its own cosmic, galactic way by different individuals on Earth. Because you don't walk outside and everyone sees the same thing about you, or pays attention to the same thing about you, or cares about the same things about you, or rather, no one outside right now, if you were to go out or you are out, if you take a look around, that person's perception of you is not going to be like that person's perception of you, because that person is not that person, and because they have their own mirror, and that one has their own mirror, their own reflection, their own identity, their own presence, their own individuality. They have their own mirror. But someone's mirror can cause a lot of things to happen in the world. That's why they can have celebrities, because they hold a mirror to so many people who reflect on them in a particular way based on their art. Or anyone really, an artist, a painter, it doesn't have to just be a musician, celebrity, or anything like that. That's just an analogy, a reference point, a case study, an example, where you take a look at how the mirror can play a role amongst humanity. You don't need to be famous or well known or even talk to anyone for your mirror to affect them. Because I see here that you never had a conversation with this person, and if you did, it was something you didn't care about because it was a stranger merely complimenting you. Hey, you look so beautiful. Hey, yeah, you look so beautiful. But you don't know it's an obsessed witch who's been stalking your neighborhood, your community, and where you live at, watching your movements, obsessed with, you. And they come in off a certain type of work, but that's not who they are. We be going through a lot of things. It's like in high school, let's look at high school. The hierarchy of how high school is, there's a popular girl, whether they're mean and beautiful and hot and, every girl's dream, they want to be like that popular girl. And let's take a girl who feels like a nerd and unseen and just purely just, they just feel like they don't matter or something. And then they go ahead and they start to obsess over this mean, popular, pretty, hot chick at school. And they want to be exactly like the girl, so they start to dress like her, talk like her, in order for them to take her throne. In order for them to now be the popular mean girl. They study that mean girl and do exactly what she does and act exactly how she acts and be exactly how she is. It'd be like that. So in an adult body, in an adult experience, it's not like high school where that can be brushed off. Like, girl, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing that? This is not high school. We are adults. And it's happening in this manner, but we are adults. You're an adult, okay? They are as well. Just now the timeline is different. You can't look at it and be like, oh, brush it off. No, it's not something to be brushed off. We have the page of swords, page of voices. Like, everything about you, this person would look at and feel like she can't match up to. Like, I can't do what you do. I can't go where she go. I can't be where she at. I can't dress like that. I can't talk like that. I can't walk like that. I can't look like that. Like, this woman is just like deeply, deeply obsessed. And every time she would look at you, she'd feel like there's nothing she can do, of herself to measure up. And she then was like, you know what? I want to just destroy her beauty. We have the magician. I'm going to use all these dark principalities, and I'm going to channel all this darkness and conjure up all these energies based on these rituals of the mirror moon magic, and I'm going to send it to this woman, and these spells will hit her life, and she'll feel like a hideous monster every day until she dies. And then she'll stop being the way that she is, because she will never see her own reflection as anything outside of monsters. Like, people are really insane on shit. Like, you think people are okay, people don't be okay in the mind. Yeah, Ace of Cups. I'm being shown the vision of her in her room. Like, this is a woman that has pictures of you, and she puts them up in the wall, and like she be stabbing pillows that like have pictures of you on them. Like she put picture of you on a pillow just so that she can, like, you know, this is an obsessed witch. Okay, this is the energy. You know, this is the type of woman who, and then she would act sane in public, and even, you know, like this loving, honest, compassionate person. Or she would really just be someone that, you know, she wants everyone to love her. She wants everyone to gravitate towards her, give her attention. She wants to be it. You know, this is someone that loves to be glorified. They love to be looked at in a form of glorification and being an idol, idolization. You know, celebritism. Celebritism is when someone does not have any qualities to be a celebrity, but they feel like they deserve to be. Like, it's like plagiarism. You take someone's work and claim it's yours, you know. That type of energy where you take, but it's not you, or, you know, you represent, but it's not really of your true core. You know, this woman is not well. She's unstable. She's ill in the mind. We have the Seven of Voices here, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, it's backfiring heavy. There's that spiritual backfire, that spiritual whiplash. It's heavy. Like, it's so heavy that it's begun to take its own form in this woman's life, right? So what was happening, what was being spoken in sensual way, what was happening was she was doing all that to herself, down to stabbing pictures of you, or even the chanting that she was doing under these moon phases, looking into a mirror and speaking your name and saying all types of things from the mirror, your pictures and everything. You know, this is a woman who, if she has access to your trash, your garbage, like she knows where you live, whether it's a complex, a house, a shelter, a hotel, an apartment, a condo, you know, wherever really. This be the same, a flat, wherever. This woman be the same person to make sure that they know, you know, your unit number or your address, so that they can like take the trash that is inside and go bewitch it. Like, it's like infusing what they find, like combining what they find, mixing it with the mirror magic rituals, and conducting all these spells and conjuring up this energy and sending it your way. Like, this is someone who you have no idea how, like someone's not well in the mind, someone's ill mentally. I see here that, you know, for some of you, you could have had a strange encounter with a stranger. Someone just came up to you and looked at you and didn't say anything and just walked away, or came up to you with a smile, hey, but you felt like something was off with that person, but you brushed it off because they came off a certain way. Or you've been seeing someone following you around, or seeing them wherever you are. It's not a coincidence. narcissist is obsessed with you, okay? There is a woman that has been stalking your life, wanting to ruin your beauty because she feels that small in comparison to you. She feels like she can't exist because you do. Literally. She feels like she can't exist because you do. This is a woman obsessed with being an icon, you know, in her world, in her life, in her reality, but because of, it's like, this woman feels like she can't be who she wants to be because you exist. And however way this goes, take it how it resonates. Like, they just feel like there's something that will never feel right inside of them because you are alive. Like, it's like, no, like, why? It's like the evil queen and Snow White. She sent out a hit on Snow White because she was beautiful. Prettiness can cause psychosis. You know, prettiness can make someone snap. Someone can literally look at someone and just be taken by their identity, by their individuality, by their mirror, by their presence, their aura, by their energy. That's why I would advise, you know, people to, if you don't feel like being on social media is your thing, or being outside all the time, or hanging out with friends all the time, or just showing your face in a certain manner, if you don't want to, don't fight that urge. Don't fight that intuitive nudge, right? Because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what you're being protected from. Not to say stay away from social media, stay away from outside, be afraid. There's nothing to fear. You're protected, but there's ways in which God protects us from unseen weapons and enemies, right? And if we don't pay attention to how we feel towards things when we do them, when we speak them, when we act the way we do, we can miss out on the protection because we are blinded by us not being able to, you know, decipher it. It's like a key, a code that needs to be cracked and unlocked, right? It's like someone saying like, oh, I can't start my own tarot channel because she's the best at it, or she's the best. Well, yeah, of course, but like, everyone's in their own lane. Why can't you be okay with yours? You know, type of energy. Like, even if sis did feel intimidated and threatened, she could have looked in the mirror and addressed her insecurities and understood the root cause of where they stem from, and not project her cosmic mirror on another person because she's not content with who she is. Whose problem is that? Literally. It's like, oh, I feel ugly because of your beauty, so I'm gonna be with you and make sure you're ugly forever. The hell is going on out here? If you've been called to wear your spiritual jewelry or buy spiritual jewelry, or you've had intuitive nudges or visions or dreams or feelings or thoughts about it, please listen to yourself. You'll find the answer, okay? Yeah, confirmation, the High Priestess to the Page of Cups. You need to pay attention, all right, to the signs, the synchronicities, because at this time, you're in your most highest power or highest form of power, okay? And it's like, back in the medieval times, in the ancient times, things like this would be very common amongst women because it was all about who looks the best, even now. So you can just imagine what extent or capability or what lengths certain women, you know, are willing to go to look a certain way. I mean, you look around at the world. They're willing to do whatever it takes for them to look a certain type of way. So even spiritually, there's women that are willing to sacrifice anything for beauty. And it's not just beauty because they want to be the most beautiful. It's beauty because of what it comes with. This woman is obsessed with the power you hold within who you are as a person. When you show up in a place, when you approach life, when you talk, when you walk, how you look, how you dress, you, okay? You. We have the Hermit. So it's like this backfire, this backlash of this moon mirror magic ritual that she has been doing under many moon phases, and how it has hit their life. It's like this woman, every day she begins to feel ugly. And inside, like that's the thing with the mirror magic. The spells affect the person, but inside. So even if nothing has happened to your face, you can still feel ugly and not know how to tap yourself out of that feeling of ugliness. You're just stuck in it and like a trance, and it takes you, and you forever just think of yourself as this ugly person. So it's beginning to happen to her. Like that's the beginning of it all, right? But she did she did it under many moon cycles, and each moon cycle she had a different intention that she set. So it's not like she spoke specific things into that mirror, and your pictures were involved, and candles and ropes and herbs and all these weapons that she was trying to utilize to form against you, right? Not knowing that the earth, the air, the water, the sun, the moon, right, the fire, it all works in your favor because you are in sync and in alignment with a high vibration, a high frequency, a high wavelength within the universe itself. And God protects you within his own creation because it's his universe, it's his earth. So no energy is going to work against you because he will transmute it. You'll be more beautiful. You might be glowing right now, feeling more beautiful. Lately, when you look in the mirror, you just feel so much more in love with yourself, whether you have makeup or not, or whether you put makeup on or not, but you just feel so in love, you know, or so in your self-care, self-love energy, and you just like, it takes you, and that's what takes you. And other people, like this person, when they look in the mirror, they see, this is someone who, when they look in the mirror, they see just the devil, like they see just satanic Luciferian energy. It's those spells backfiring that are surrounding the aura, they're surrounding, you know, their energy, their energetic sphere. So it walks with them. This is someone who can't be in public now without feeling like this one is looking at them because they're ugly or they have something on their face that is not in proportion to beauty, or their human anatomy, their human vessel, their human body is not in a specific, like they'll forever now be like that. Paranoid about their own beauty until it just drives them insane. Like later in life, either this woman will do something to her face or body, or they'll completely change their whole identity and become someone else. You know, it's the effects, the neurological defects of how their brain activity is no longer the same, and the chemical balance of the brain has snapped, and it's just causing a release of certain things within their own DNA. It's very deep what this woman was doing under these moon phases. You don't play with Luna at all. Give thanks and grace to Luna's presence and offerings to us, things like the solar eclipse, you know, things that Luna can bring, and you know, don't be evil to, you know, with Luna energy, because it's the moon. Like, it's literally an unknown presence on earth, but it's been studied for years, but no one can fully say they understand it. How can we all see it, but it's one? it's all over the world. But you know, so there's just things that you don't play with like that. You don't play in those realms, because this is the same woman that her obsession now has led her to the point where she can't even, like, I see a woman pulling pictures off the wall and just this bitch, that's bitch, like, girl, no. Crying, stabbing the pillow. No, 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 this can't be happening. No, why is she not ugly? What? Like, on some evil Queen Snow White type thing. Snow White unbothered, don't give a damn about what Little Miss I want to be the first of them all got going on. And it's just, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So many things are happening to this woman at once. It's these spells, and a lot of things are going to keep happening. But the end result is either this woman, like I said, you know, she'll change her whole entire identity up, right? Or she's going to do something to her body or her face, you know, in terms of cosmetic surgery. But it's all going to have been due to a buildup of what she's been having to live with. These spells backfiring, the whiplash, she's been having to live with it, and it's going to like drive her to that point. Like, she's going to be obsessed with how she looks, not because she loves how she looks, but because she's concerned about how she looks. Because there's going to be things that happen to her that have to do with what she conjured up on earth and how it's going to affect her, because it's her energy that she just tries to send to another person. Sis, those are your insecurities that you're trying to project to another. That is your low self-esteem, low self-worth, low self-confidence that you have not looked at and addressed, and all you are doing is projecting it to another person. You're not about to win with that low mess. That's just low. That's like beneath, that's bottom bearer. You don't do that. Bottom feeder, you don't do that. Now you can't exist, beloved, because sis is like, oh, like, look, you got this on today and I want to wear it, but I can't look as good as you, and I hate you, because it's like, I'm being called to end this message here. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time, and I thank you so much for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. If you're keen to book me for, to those who are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love, as well as ancestral lineage readings. I also now offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I'll also offer one-on-one sessions / life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly, and you can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in the description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon if you'd rather join my Patreon instead. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. I thank you all for everything, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.